Hi guys, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining me on my channel, OWELL Cosmetics and OWELL Cosmetics Labs. Today, this is the first part of a beginner's series, and we're going to be covering what do you need to know and what do you need to have to start making skincare. Okay, well, let's start with what do you need to know. So there's a few basic things you have to know before you can start making skincare, and it will just make your life a lot easier. One, you need to know how to follow a formula. So the important thing to know about a formula versus a recipe is a formula is built out of percentages. Okay, so a recipe gives us our actual numbers that we're going to measure and plug in, but a formula is that recipe in percentages. So if you have and the very first thing you need to know is what size batch you're going to make. Okay, that's kind of tricky. I had to figure that out for a little bit. So if I want to make 100-gram batch of a tester lotion and 10% of that lotion is meadowfoam seed oil, then I know I would need 10 grams of meadowfoam seed oil. Okay, so a formula is written out of percentages. All cosmetics are written in formulas. You can use those formulas to convert your recipe to a small amount to a large amount if you need to make a massive amount. And also, once you have a basic formula and you know the basic phases, you can experiment and create your own formulas. And that's where we want to get you to, okay? So first thing you need to know is how to follow a formula, how to convert that formula into a recipe, okay? And I'm going to do another video on this more in depth. I'm going to show you a little bit right here. Okay, so for an example, this is my exfoliating face mask formula and recipe. So this part is my formula. See the percentages? This part is my recipe. This makes a 600-gram batch of exfoliating face mask, okay? Now you can see here when I started making this, I decided to make some changes. And I was able to do that because I decided that this water phase didn't need to be so high. I could add something yummy in there. So I did 20% of aloe vera juice already. I decided to do another 20% grams of witch hazel hydrosol. Okay, so I made that change by making the water 16%, which would be 96 grams. And the witch hazel hydrosol is 120, just like the aloe vera is 120, because that's 20% of 600. Now, if this whole recipe was only going to be 100 grams, like I was going to do a tester recipe, it would be very easy. It would be 36 grams of water, 20 grams aloe vera juice, 5 grams of glycerin, 0.5 of allantoin. Okay, do you see? It's just the percentage out of 100 is basically the number. Emulsifying wax NF would be 4, acetyl alcohol would be 3, macadamia nut would be 12, and that's for a 100-gram batch, which is plenty for testing. Now this is a 600-gram batch, so basically those numbers are times by 6, but this is more accurate, okay? Again, you see down here I made a change. Instead of having a fragrance oil or essential oil, I decided to substitute that option with rice protein. Okay, so this is a little bit about formulas, recipes. We'll go over this more in depth in a different video. All right, thanks guys. Let's get back to business here. The second thing you need to know after you know how to interpret and follow a formula is you need to know the basic methodology of the item you're making. So if I'm making lotion, I know that the basic methodology is pretty much the same across the board. I mean, yes, there are things that don't perfectly match the category, but the methodology of lotion, you have a heated water phase, a heated oil phase, and then you have a cool down phase. Okay. So your step one is to measure out all your water ingredients. We water, aloe vera, rose hydrosol, lavender hydrosol, any of your aqueous ingredients go into your water phase. And then your heated oil phase will be everything you need to melt, butters, your oils, emulsifying wax, thickeners, solubilizers, everything you kind of need to melt down. All right. So you will heat and hold those two phases. And I do those in measuring glasses. So I do my little one for my water phase and I do my big one for my oil phase, because you'll be pouring your water phase into your oil phase. So both of these will go in my water bath. Okay, I'm going to heat them up and hold them for 20 minutes at least 158 degrees. And that will kill off all the yucky bacteria that is in our water phase. And it also makes sure all of our oils are melted through. So once you do that, then you will take your water phase and your oil phase out of the water bath. Okay, we want them to kind of be around the same temperature. You pour your water phase into your oil phase, and then with a stick blender like this, you go for about 3 minutes. Make sure it's all emulsified and nice. It's still going to be pretty watery at that point in time. And then you just wait 20 minutes, come back, give it another blend, wait 20 minutes, come back, give it another blend. When it feels like it's nice and cool, that's when you add in your cool down ingredient. So I usually have mine in just a little bowl like this. And I use this scraper to scrape all my ingredients into my emulsion. Okay. And then you stick blend it again. And basically you just wait for it to cool and there's your lotion. And that's the methodology behind making lotion. All oil, water, lotions are going to be basically the same. So you need to know how to follow formula, and then you need to know the methodology behind making your item that you're making, whether it's face wash or serum or a lotion. They all have basic methodologies behind them. All right, so those are the two most important things of knowledge you need to grasp to kind of get started with this entire adventure. Okay, now some of the equipments that you need to get started, I kind of already showed you. One is you need some heat-proof containers. So again, I use my Pyrex. I love these. However, if I'm making really, really big batches, I do have graduated beakers that are good for really, really big batches. So I use those for my heat-proof containers. I use these little glass bowls to do my cool down phase or to measure small things, or basically just to measure out things while I'm waiting for those 20 minutes. Icing spatulas. This was super cheap. I got 12 of them on Amazon. Great for getting in there, making sure you get all the product out. You need a good scale. Okay, so mine is not super high tech or fancy. It is a Kubai. I have no idea. This was probably a low to mid-range price. I think 25s or something. But the important part is that it goes down to 0.01 grams, and it goes up high enough to be able to hold, this is 4 cups, so 1,000 milliliters. So about 1,000 grams of product. So you want to make sure your scale can kind of go all the way down and all the way up. Sometimes you need 2 different scales, and that's okay. I have a little pocket scale too for those really teeny, tiny amounts. Now, when you get more advanced and you get more into this, okay, not right away, a heat gun was really, really great to know that our water and oil phase are at that 158 degrees, or that it's cooled down enough to add in our cool down ingredients, because there's some ingredients that are very temperature sensitive and you can't add them above a certain temperature or it will degrade them. Let's see what else. What other tools do we have? I think that's kind of it. Just checking my notes here. Oh yeah, and then after you kind of do some basic formulas and play around, follow other people's formulas, then you can start writing your own formulas. And you do that just by understanding the methodology. So we know our water phase, if we have 60% is distilled water in our basic formula, when we go to rewrite that formula, we can be like, bam, we're doing 30% aloe vera and 20% rose hydrosol and 10% water. That's still my 60% aqueous material. And now it is enriched and I've just made that formula a whole lot better. Same with the oil phase. If our oil phase in our basic recipe is 20% and say it was just basic oils we had around, well, we can kick that up a notch by adding higher end oils or butters, like rosehip seed oil and squalene and meadowfoam seed oil, macadamia seed nut oil, cherry seed nut oil, apricot kernel. I get really excited about those oils. So yes, everything can be customized. And once you know your skin as well, it's really important too. That's like one of the number one things. Get to know your skin, what type of skin you have. That way you can formulate for your skin type. Okay, so you're going to learn all these things, I promise. This is my beginner series. This is my intro to the beginner series, basically. And I'll have in-depth videos on all of this, including how to make the basic lotion, how to read a formula, how to write a formula, pH testing. I forgot that guy. I don't know where he fell off to. But pH testing, because we do want most of our formulations to end up around our skin pH, which is around 5.5 or so. Something too acid or too base could actually hurt our skin. So we have to be really careful about that. So anyways, guys, that was the intro to the beginner series. This is going to be a fabulous series if you've never made lotion before. If you just want to learn a little bit more about lotion, it's going to be the basics from like the building blocks up. We are going to make a strong foundation for you guys, okay? All right, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Please like and subscribe down below. So that way you guys don't miss any of these videos in this series. All right, subscribe, like this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.